مبزحت جزء بزعبة شكر كزرب كله أكلاتنا نشكر بزح نعوز تعرف نجرا يجبرني سلمنتايكم مخانو مجمريا بزيان جمر ما كلت تمجلتك بكمين وراي لهم زجوروا مخانو زي كان فلتين عج.
Much money in the nobody's ever going to blame it on sugar because there's too much money in the sugar industry. Go to the doctor. Yeah, your pressure's a little high. Cut down on salt. Cut the.
بزعبة شكر زخوني يكون سبك زارب حماق زارب هيكلني ولا قبض عقمت له سلامتاي شكر تزلع على مخصب زلو وصل زخوني أب زيت بيوم مقبض ما كسب على الكاتش أب يوم شكر زقبروا له مغنيات الشكر addiction والفنك حزا كاسل زقبر نسمع يا ده
cut the salt. Cut the salt. Cut the salt.
بنتعرف انت يقولنا جو تطواب له جو حماقيو جو واحد.
In reality, when we really look at the data and the studies, it shows that people who have low salt intake, they really don't live as long as people who have moderate levels of salt intake. And then when we also look at heart disease and hypertension, and we go back and we look at salt intake through the years, when we go back 100 years per se, when people's salt intake was about kind of like it is now, they still didn't have all the same health problems that we have. Honestly, I think that sugar has the biggest impact. There's plenty of data to suggest that in the average individual, if we can cut about 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar from your diet on a daily basis, you'll start to see your blood pressure.
انتهيت لنا لا دكتور يا زياد دكتور راهيل يا مثلا راشل I don't know وانت كم زي مس كيلا حكيم يا زياد سو انتهيت لنا لا ጨው ውሕዱ ጨው ለዩ ክብሉና ከሎ ክንጥንቃቅ ክንከላለና ምኽንያቱ ጨው ኖርማል ጨው ምውሳድ ኣገዳሲ ንጥዕናና እዚ ከዓ ነቲ ናይ ሽኮር ንኸይሓምዩ ሽኮር ፀገም ስለ ዝኾነ እቲ ፀቕጢ ናይ ደም ገለመለ ዘሎ ፀገማት ናብ ጨው እዮም ዝደፍዎ ምክንያቱ ጨው ብዙሕ መክሰብ ዘይብሉ ስለ ዝኾነ በንፃሩ ጨው እናወሓድና እንተኸይድና እዚ ሽኮር ኣብቲ ንወስዶ ሽኮር ወላ ብክልተ ሰለስተ ማንካ እናወሓድና እንድሕር ከይድና ኣብ ጥዕናና ዓብ ለውጢ ክንገብር ንኽእል ኢና ይብሉና ኣለዉ ሕጂ ሽኮር ከመይ ገይሩ ኣብቲ ዓውድና ህይወት ኣብ ካምፓኒታት ብኸመይ ንሽኮር ኣብ መዓልታዊ ንጥፈታትና ከም ንጥቀሞ ይደፍዎ ከም ዘለው እዚ ክኢላ ኣብ ኮካኮላ ዝሰርሕ ዝነበረ ክዛረብ ከሎ ንስማዓዮ
Overnight processed foods were banned, annihilated, and people just ate healthy. What would the difference be to diseases like heart disease, diabetes, cancer?
So working for Coke 10 years ago, we had a strategy. Now, processed food companies contribute 11 times more money to nutritional research in the United States than the NIH. And the direct strategy was to fund thousands and thousands of studies to complicate the issue. Still, to this day, elite...
እዚያታ ቀንዲ ዓንዲ ሕቆ ናይዚ ኩሉ ትገልፅ ኣብ ኮካኮላ ክሰርሕ ከለዎ ቀደም ኢልካ ብዙሕ ገንዘብ ኣብቲ NIH ዝበሃል ወይ ከ ናሽናል ኢንስቲትዩት ኦፍ ሄልት ዲገለመለ ናይ ኣሜሪካ ናይ ጥዕና ሚኒስትሪ ጥዕና ናይ ኣሜሪካ ብዙሕ ገንዘብ የነበርክት ነርና ኢሉ ስለምንታይ እቲ ገንዘብ ዝብርከት ብዙሕ መፅናዕቲ ንክገብሩ እንታይ ዓይነት መፅናዕቲ እዮም ዝገብሩ ዝተፈላለየ መፅናዕቲ ይገብሩ ብዛዕባ ሽኮር ዘለካ ኮንፊውዝድ ዝኾነ ክርዳእካ ከምዘይክሉ ብትክክል ክትፈልጥ ከምዘይብልካ ንክገብሩ ተገራጨው ሽኮር ፅቡቅ ሽኮር ሕማቅ ሽኮር ከምዝገብር ሽኮር ከምዚ ተገራጨው ሓበሬታ ከምዝምዕብል ውራይሎም እዮም ዝገብርዎ ብትክክል ሓበሬታ እንተፈሊጥካ ካብኦም ክትሃድም ኢኻ ካብኡ ክትሃድም ድማ ይደልካን እዩ ሓደ ካምፓኒ ዝሽኮር ጥረ ዝሽኮር ሓደ ዝሸይጥ ጥራይ ግን ኣይኮነን ከምኡ እሶም ጥራይ ኣይኮኑን አንፃርና ዘሎ ኩሎም ካምፓኒታት ናይ መግቢ ሽኮር ስለ ዝጥቀሙ ንሽኮር ረብሓ ዘለዎም ብዙሓት ኣካላት እዮም ስለዚ ኮካኮላ ወይ ፔፕሲ ጥራይ ኣይኮኑ ዝደልዩ ካልኦት ካምፓኒታት ድማ ኩላቶም ሽኮር ኣብቲ ናቶም ትሕሶ ስለ ዘለዎም እዮም ዝጥቀሙ ይብለና ኣሎ ስለዚ ኣብ ውሽጢ ዓንዲ ሕቆ ናይቲ ኢኮኖሚ ዝኣተወ
research institutions are putting out studies questioning whether sugar causes obesity. So it's mass confusion. And then as you mentioned, the medical system is totally silent on that. They're profiting from it. And I think the key thing to understand is that we've siloed health in every institution, from pharma to med schools to your hospital. They make money on interventions of people that are sick. And as you said, we've siloed diseases into these things. The problem is, Russell, all of the conditions I just mentioned are going up. As we're treating them, as we're spending trillions of dollars to treat these conditions in silos, they're all getting worse. Rates of everything is going up. It's because the foundational reason for all of the diseases you mentioned, Russell, it's very simple, and we're being gaslighted. It's
እንታይ ይብላ ኣሎ መብዛሕትኡ ዓውዲ ናይ ሳይንስ ናይ ሜዲሲን ነዚ ነገር ስቕ ኢሉ ዝርዮ ኢንፋክት ኣብ ካሊእ እታ ምልእቲ ትሕሶ ናይዚ ኢንተርቪው እንተትሰምዖ ነርኩም ኣብ ዩቱብ ኣይወርድዎ ነዮም ኣብ ራምብል ዝበሃል እዩ ዘሎ እንታይ ይብል ابتي توم زعبي ناي ميديسين بيت مرتات كم بعل هارفارد كم بعل كالوت عبيتي انستتيوشنز انت ستانفورد قال مالا مالتي انتي قبري لك بزعبا مغاغبا بفص ما يمهروا من نتوم دوكاتري لك ازخا ورايلك مغنياتهم قند ابركتي نايتي ميديكال سكولز منيم اتوم ناي فارما تمدهاني زفريت كالات ስለዝኾኑ ንሳቶም ነቶም ዶክተር ብዛዕባ መግቢ ከይፈለጡ ከመይ ገይሮም ይሕክሙ ጥራይ ከም ዝመሃሩ ይገብርዎም ስለዚ ክንደይ ዶክተር ብሰንኪዚ ነቲ ስራሕ እናገደፉ ኮጽ ጀሚሮም ኣሎ ምክንያቱ ውራይልካ ተዓሚቶም ንክኸዱ ምክንያቱ እቶም ዩኒቨርሲቲታት ብዙሕ መክሰቢ ዘለዎም ገንዘብ ካብተን ካምፓኒታት ስለዝረኽቡ በቲ ዋላ እኳ እቲ ናይ መድሃኒት ብዙሕ እንተማዕበለ ኢልካ ነቲ ኣመጋግባና ክሳብ ዘይቀየርና ግን ረብሓን ዕዖም እዩ ሓሚምካ መድሃኒቶም ወሲድካ ንክትሓዊ ንሳቶም ከም ዝረብሑ እዩ ዝኸውን ዘሎ ሓደገኛ ዝኾነ ሰርክል ይብለና ኣሎ ሕጂ እዚ ንክስምብድ ይኮነን ሽኮር ተወጊድናዮ ወይ ከ እንታይ ዓይነት ረብሓ ክመፀና ክእል እዚኣ ቪድዮ እዚኣ ካብ መጠን ላዕሊ ኣገዳሲት ንስማዕ እያ
What would actually happen to your body if you really gave up sugar, completely for 2 weeks? Let's take a look at that. Number one, you are going to
ንክልተ ሰሙን ጥራይ ሽኮር ካብ ህይወትና ካብ መጋግባና እንታሊና እንታይ ያጋጥመና
lose your appetite to sugar. So by getting rid of sugar, you get rid of the craving for sugar. Number two, you're going to be less hungry. Until you do this, you won't really fully know.
መጀመሪያ ክልተ ሰሙን ተቋሪጽካያ ትድልየት ባህጊ ወልፍናይ ሽኮር ክለየካ ይኽእል ይብለና ኣሎ ስለዚ ካልኣይ ድማ እቲ ጥሜት ናትካ ሽኮር ኣይጽግበካኒ መሊስካ ሽኮር ከም ትበልዕ ሽኮራዊ ከም ትበልዕ
No, but I'm telling you, it's the sugar that keeps you hungry all the time. Why? Because you stabilize your blood sugars. Number three, you're going to have less fatigue, especially after eating a meal. When you're eating sugar on a regular basis, usually you're going to be tired after you eat, and that is a blood sugar thing. Number four,
ሳልሳይ ድማ ኩሉ ግዜ ብዙሕ ሽኮር ትወስድ ኮይንካ ኩሉ ግዜ ዝደኸምካ ኤነርጂ ዘይብልካ ይገብረካ ፋቲግ ስለዚ ሽኮር ምውጋድ energy comes
or you're going to lose excessive water and fat. For the first week, you're going to dump a lot of water and some fat, but after that, it's going to be more and more fat. You're going to see your clothes loosening, especially around the midsection. Your gut, your waist is one of the best indicators to tell if you're doing too much sugar. What would actually happen to your body?
Sorry, እንታይ ብለና ኣሎ ሽኮር ብዙሕ ንበልዕ ከም ዘለና ምልክት ኣበይ ዘሎ ይብለና ኣሎ ኣብ ከብድና ይዝርአ ስለዚ ሽኮር ከነውግድ ተጀሚርና ከብድና እናተኣለየ እናጎደለ እናተኣለየ ክኸይድ ይኽእል ኣብኡ ምልክት ክንርኢ ንኽእል ይብለና
You're going to lose excessive water. Dump a lot of water and some fat, but after that, it's going to be more and more fat. You're going to see your clothes loosening, especially around the midsection. Your gut, your waist is one of the best indicators to tell if you're doing too much sugar.
So, ريهم الله هم تقبلنا يشجور هجي حنت فيديو لا أنت تاني حاتكم ترى يخطري وايد مزيان كساب كندي زي تبلاشون زي تك مكبك كم نبلع نخنفلت يزقب رازو اللي هو منال بعد كألي وايد يمكن كيف التناين.
Is this label lying to you? The food may look good, but the facts will gross you out.
The fecal indicator.
What would foods in the bakery that had passed their best before date?
If it wasn't selling, we would cut the cake in half.
مقبي مشات تابيو ما بكرنا توم انتاي كم زقبروت ينقرنا له مقيلنا إلى تكانت مقيلنا سومن مزقبره expired عساعتهم ساخله مقيلنا أبكلتون قبربرا إلى دم صدفة.
They actually had stickers on them for about 2 more weeks.
And then what would happen?
After a couple of weeks, if it still hadn't sold, we would actually replace that sticker with the new one. So that's 2 additional weeks on top of the 2 weeks, on top of the weeks that it spent in the display case. Fruit tarts in the display case, we would take them and we would scrape off the fruit as it got older or less.
نزي نقلق كفالو نعليو مليسوم كم زتك أمولو يعتنقرنا زلا.
Was past its best before date.
Something like this, they would take they dip it in blood. You can see it looks a lot redder.
We've got some marinated drumsticks here. Why is stuff marinated?
Things get marinated to hide the odor, and if there are any dark spots or whatever, to mask that and then put it out for sale.
So, እንታይ ብሉና ኣሎ ብጣዕሚ ክንጥንቃቅ ከም ዘለና ብዛዕባ መግቢ ዝዛረብዎ ዘሎ ኣዝዩ ሓደገኛ ምዃኑ ክንፈልጥ ክንክላለና ኦኬ ሶ እዚ ቪድዮ እዚ ክስምብዱ ክትርዕዱ ዘይኮነስ ፈሊጥና ኣስተውዒልና ንክንከይድ ኢና ከምዚ ቪድዮታት ብዙሕ ክገብረልኩም እየ ተጠቐሙሉ ተማሃሩሉ ተቐየሩሉ ጥራይ ክብለኩም ይኽእል ብዙሕ ነገር ኣብ ዙርያና ዘሎ ኩሉ ግን ሕማቕ ኣይኮነን ኣስተውዒልና ንክንከይድ እየ ዝገብሮ ዘለኹም እዚ ቪድዮታት እዚ ንክትገብሮ ከቢድ እዩ ምክንያቱ ዩቱብን ኣይደልዮን እዩ ግን ንሕብረተሰብና ካብ መጠን ንላዕሊ ስለ ዘገድስ ክገብሮ እየ ላይክ ግበሩ ነዚ ቻነል ሰፖርት ግበሩ ኮሜንት ክትገብሩ ከለኹም ድማ ጠቃሚ ምዃኑ ስለ ትፅሕፉ ነቲ ቻነል ሓጋዚ ክኸውን ይኽእል እዩ እናበልኩ ናይ ሎሚ ኣርእስቲ ኣብዚ ክውድየ ኣብ ካልእ ኣርእስቲ ክሳብ ንራኸብ ተፅብቑ ይምነየልኩም እናበልኩ ክሰናበተኩም እየ